Is going on, tribe family? Who that? Who that? Who that? My Saints are beating the Cowboys right now. So my Sunday is starting out great. Oh, if you a Saints fan, you know how you know what we've been through. You know what we go through. So it's good to see them on top. Good to see them winning. Um, yeah, and of all things, beating the Dallas Cowboys. How about that? All right, so let's get it started. How y'all doing today? It's Sunday. Um, for me, it's been a long week, but um, but it's been interesting. It's been fun. I've had a lot of fun with you guys. I've had a lot of fun, just traveling and, of course, spending time with my dear mother. That's always good. Who do we have in the house today? I got Char Willie conversations with. She got flames in the chat. Sanders RN is here. Nola Brown says, I will be listening to you and watching football. Awesome. Awesome. And Nola Brown, I'm assuming the football that you're watching is the same football that I got on display right now, which is the New Orleans Saints currently beating the Dallas Cowboys 14-3. Let's hope we can keep that up, Nola Brown. Let's hope. I got Legacy, Moon, True Crime, and Mysteries in the house. We had a great time last night. If you get a chance to go by Legacy's house and check out the replay, we had a great time. I got Butterfly 23 in the house. Miss Piggy Braxton says, Hey, tribe, in the bushes, cleaning these bathrooms. And then Sonia catches a stray. Yes, Sonia, I have more than one. I don't know if Sonia has found her way over to the tribe or not. I don't know if she understands the concept, thinking that she might think that this is a Native American live, because let's just admit the obvious, she's not very smart. Miss Piggy Braxton has flames in the chat. Shelly C is here. Thank you so much for coming through. I got 3 minutes, inmates, peeps, Sonia Freaks. She says, good afternoons. I got Dimples Wimples in the house. Minding Business is here. Thank you so much for coming through. Jalen Enroll. I apologize if I mispronounced that. Who that nation? Nothing else needs to be said. Who that nation? Yes, indeed. Who that? Who that? Who that? Thank God every day I'm not a Falcon. Okay. Kimmy K is here. Kimmy K says, Hey, Native. Hey, everyone. Nola Brown confirming that it is the Who Dat Saints. Dimples, Wimples, you with us? You with us? We that? Who that? Yeah, Who that nation? All right, all right, all right. Miss Boogie Down is in the house. Miss Boogie Down says, Hey, glad you guys got rid of Drew. Didn't like him. Drew Brees was the man until he wasn't. I mean, if you want to really talk about it, Drew Brees was amazing, Hall of Famer. But then that arm just petered out on us, and it happens. I mean, nobody can play forever. So yeah, it was about that time. It was about that time. Those last few years were kind of painful for me. We got Dimples Wumples reminding us to please hit the mother loving like button. I appreciate that. Lakia Renee says, Hey, love. Thank you so much for coming through to the chat. Sonia Dura Waller Jackson III. Sonia Durham Waller Jackson III. Got flames in the chat. Sonia, is that you? Is that you? Listen, so if you didn't get a chance to catch me on Legacy Moon last night, we had a great time. We stayed up all night long as usual. I took about a couple hours more to try to recover this morning. But it was a great chat. We had a good time. One of the things I heard Nesto say in his chat with his girlfriend Sonia last night was, what future books do I need to read? Now, I'm gonna ask y'all because sometimes, I don't know everything, and sometimes I feel like you all in the chat are smarter than me. Can anybody tell me what the hell is a future book? Anybody? Anybody? Anybody know what a future book is? Does anyone have any future books? Is anybody future books? No. What are you talking about? Because I don't know what a future book is. Is it a book in the future? Is it a book that hasn't been written? Is it a book about the future? What future books do you think Nesto was referring to? Because I don't know. Um, then I started thinking about the future. It's so easy for us to get caught up in what's going on right now in these YouTube streets and in the Nesto cinematic universe and everything that's happening. But a lot of this stuff is from the past. The caller we listened to was from April of 2023. We are in September of 2024. Shirley Strawberry is struggling to get this divorce finalized. But then I started thinking, what future book should Shirley be reading? I want to today have a discussion about what should Shirley's next move be? Where should Shirley Strawberry go? This woman has been through a lot of things. She's been cheated on. We haven't really narrowed down what type of abuse was in her household between her and Nesto, but we know that there was some type of, at least at minimum, mental manipulation, right? So recovering from all of that, if she gets the therapy that she needs, what should Shirley's next move be? I mean, it's easy for us to turn the page because we're not involved. But if you were in her shoes and you had the ability to make the next steps, I mean, obviously because of her stature and her status, she has the ability to get whatever help is available. So there's that. But what do you think that Shirley Strawberry could do? That's where I want to start at today, because I can't imagine everything that she has been through and having to now resort back to a quote unquote normal life. So I'm just curious as to what you guys think of that. Trish G says, "Oh, my bad. This is not a Native American page." I mean, let me think about that. Let's see. I was born here. I'm true here. I'm not new here. Oh no, Trish G. It might be. It could be, after all, a Native American page. I'm Native. I'm American. I think we can agree on that. We might have to explore that, Trish G, but thank you so much for being here. I do appreciate you being a part of the tribe. Black but not bitter, who is wise beyond her years, has explained that it's a book that has not been written. And Nesto wanted to know what future books he should read, because everything has changed in the 2 years that he's been incarcerated. So he's looking for Sonia to tell him about books that have not been written. Kimmy K wants to know, will you start reviewing the calls between Nesto and Lizette? Y'all want me to do some call reviews? I will. I kind of avoided them because that's what everybody else was doing, and I kind of wanted to stay in my lane a little bit. But if y'all want me to jump into some reviews, I'm more than happy to do that. Black but not bitter says, think like a man and act like a woman. Is that a future book? Is that a future book we should be on the lookout for? Miss Boogie Down says, I think he means books that will help support his defense. What book is that? The man has committed literally every crime. What book could possibly be written or be out there that would some kind of way free Nesto? I don't know what book. I don't know what book that would be. If you can see if Amazon has such a book, that'd be great, and let us know, Ms. Boogie Down. And by the way, Ms. Boogie Down, thank you for being here today. I appreciate you. Legacy Moon, True Crime and Mystery, says the future book is located at the fire station RV park on the roof beside the hot tub. This is a carryover from the foolishness that we had to endure last night. If you had an RV with the purpose of being, recreational and outside, and you passed by a fire station that said, hey, come park your RV inside this fire station and, enjoy our hot tub at the top on the roof, would that catch your eye? Would you be would you be interested in that? Would that be something that you would want to do? It sounds stupid, and the idea of it wasn't just the idea, it was how proud he was of the idea. You know what I mean? Like, this man was just super, like, he dropped the mic on it. He was like, and it's gonna have a hot tub at the top. What? And Sonia was like, oh. And what was crazy was that, as crazy as Sonia is, even she was like, but it's not outside. it's an RV situation that's not outside. I don't know, but if that's where the future book is, maybe that's why he wants to put it up there. So Sonia Durham Waller Jackson III has answered my initial question. She says that Shirley Strawberry should engage in speaking engagements, interviews about not ignoring red flags. I think she's qualified. I think she's more than qualified to speak on that at this point. If you think about the red flags that she had to ignore, we try to give her credit by saying, well, she must have known something. I think she turned a blind eye to a lot of things, and I think that's the reason why everything is the way it is right now. So I agree with you. I think that she absolutely could do that, because she's more than qualified to speak on ignoring red flags that she could have picked up on that would have saved her some time and a lot of stress. So yeah, I agree with you on that. Bible Lady comes through. She says, I had to run over here and show some love to my tribe. I'm meal prepping while running these YouTube streets before driving over to the green waters. Thank you so much for coming through. Hope the meal prep goes well for you. I should do some meal prepping myself, but I don't feel like it. Nola Brown says, Nesto can't read. Nola Brown, you are 1,000% right. But let me tell you somebody that can read, me. And I'm reading this score, and it is 14-6. My Saints, who dat to you? Who dat? Beating the Dallas Cowboys 14-6. So happy about that. The book's working title is Smooth Criminal. I love it. I love it. I love it. Smooth Criminal. Smooth Criminal. Was he smooth, though? Do you think Nesto was smooth and all that stuff he was doing? I don't think it was. I think he was just reckless. Reckless criminal. Sonia Durham Waller Jackson III says her next move should be rebuilding her life, becoming financially stable, and living within her means, as well as saving for retirement. Let's look at this. Rebuilding her life. So Steve Harvey morning shows going on there. So career's established. So fortunately for her, she didn't lose her career, because that would be a definite setback for a woman of her age. Because whether we want to admit it or not, ageism is real in this country. And, at her age of 70, career options possibly may have been limited. So that's good. So becoming financially stable, I think it's addition by subtraction. Because Nesto is no longer a part of her life, Shirley Strawberry didn't need a raise. She just needed to get rid of this strain on her finances. She was with a man who was financially hurting her. So if you take Nesto out of the picture, financial stability becomes achievable, because, well, you ain't got to pay for lawyers no more. You're not paying, for whatever business ventures he's coming up with, all these harebrained schemes. You're not paying for any of that now at this point. So therefore, that's money that's in your pocket. So it's addition by subtraction as far as financial, becoming financially stable. Personally, in my personal opinion, I don't believe Shirley got a raise. I don't believe Sandra Rose. Sandra Rose is the only source of that story. Anybody else that you look up, when you look this up, they refer back to Sandra Rose. It's always according to Sandra Rose. Sandra Rose has been notoriously inaccurate with stories. So I don't believe Shirley got a raise. I just don't. Steve Harvey doesn't pay Shirley Strawberry. Our Radio One, is it Radio One? I Heart Radio, whoever it is that actually owns the Steve Harvey Morning Show, the check is written from them. So the fact that the story says that Steve Harvey gave her a raise is kind of inaccurate on its face, because he doesn't pay people. You know, he's getting a check, everybody's getting a check, but it's from the owners of the show, or the people that actually put on the show. So on its face, that story didn't make sense to me. There's a lot of details as far as the contract. Why would it be renewed for during the middle of her current contract? It just doesn't make sense. So to me personally, and if anybody has any other information that can confirm it, I've been trying to get everybody that's been covering this to confirm this woman has got a raise. But I haven't had any substantial confirmation outside of this ridiculous story that Sandra Rose put out. That being said, raise or not, having Nesto not being in her life has added financial stability to Shirley Strawberry's life. That's just a fact. So she could keep her same paycheck and she's good. She's good because this albatross is gone. So living within her means is something that Shirley Strawberry before Nesto didn't do. I think that's something that not only Shirley Strawberry, but we all should be striving for that. I mean, you know, financial stability often does have a lot to do with, you know, how we spend our money, you know? So I think that is definitely a lesson that we could learn. Saving for retirement, you're 70 years old, you're on the radio. When does retirement come if you're already at 70 and you're still working every day? You know what I mean? These are some of the questions I would have about that, but all excellent points, you know, not taking anything away from any of the points that you raised, but it's just a matter of Shirley Strawberry, like, taking control of her life. Definitely getting rid of Nesto is a good step. Miss Boogie Down, thank you so much for the super sticker, says, a book on how to beg for $100. Is that a book or a pamphlet? Because I don't know if we can make a whole book out of that. But, you know, stranger things have been done. Legacy Moon, True Crime and Mysteries. I wish a man would take me to the Nesto RV Park Fire Station bed and breakfast with a hot tub on the roof so I could see the stars. Hey, that wish might come true. We never know what angel investors might decide that this is a good idea and skip over bailing him out to fund this fire station that is going to, apparently, is the Smyrna fire station. Shout out to Smyrna, Georgia. Anybody out there know where that is? Be on the lookout for the upcoming Nesto RV Park Fire Station bed and breakfast, because it's coming. Kimmy K says, I think Shirley turned her head to a lot of things with him. I don't understand what quality she saw in him. He can't read, write, or talk. So let me ask you this, Kimmy K. Have you ever known women who have dated down just for the sake of dating? Like, you see that they have a career, you see that they have an education, you understand the type of person that they are, genuine, good-hearted, good-natured, but they're single. And, you know, the pressures of being single get to them. And they meet a guy, and the guy isn't necessarily all those things that she is. Like you said, he can't read, write, or talk. Shirley's career was built on reading, writing, and talking. Literally, right? What makes a woman do that? Now, as a man, can I say I did that? Absolutely. What made me do it? A lot of different things. I think that we all have a desire to be wanted. We all have a desire to be to be close to someone, companionship. And sometimes that desire can override our common sense. Now, I'm asking a genuine question. Do you think that that's what caused Shirley to turn her head? Do you think that Shirley saw qualities in him that weren't there? They just weren't they just weren't present. But she was just in such need of companionship. And also keep in mind there's more pressure on single women to not be single than there are single guys. That's just the way our society is set up. Super patriarchal, super misogynistic, and it's not really fair. She was made to feel a certain way because she was single by her co-host on the Steve Harvey Morning Show. I heard it myself. So I'm asking a genuine question. Do you, Kimmy K, and the rest of the chat, do you believe that that is what caused her to stick with a Nesto? I mean, I personally, I do, and I think she's paying the price for it, but I think that's where it came from. Elizabeth Hannah is in the building. Elizabeth Hannah says, hey, Elizabeth Hannah, how are you on this Sunday? I hope everything is going well. Thank you for joining the tribe. Kimmy K said, I never believed she got a raise either. Listen, you give relationship advice for a living. Your relationship in your personal life is in shambles. What would make me, as a check writer, as somebody that's writing you a check, give you more money than what you're getting? They had to put Steve Harvey in it to make it sound believable. Because if I'm doing a poor job at my job, or let's just say an average job, because some people do like her, why would I be motivated to give you more money when you are in a controversial relationship that is honestly shed a negative light? Because Sonia tried to reason it out to say that, oh, this is causing more people to listen to the Steve Harvey Morning Show. Let's be completely real about the Steve Harvey Show. It comes on the radio. You may be able to pick it up from iHeart or Spotify, but the honest truth is that a lot of people don't listen to the radio. Let's be completely real about it. So radio budgets are not ballooning. Radio personality is not something that in 2024 you could get into on the ground floor and make a good living. So a lot of these contracts and a lot of this stuff is just grandfathered in. The money that Steve Harvey's making, I can't see another radio show host coming up and making Steve Harvey Morning at this point in 2024. Podcasts are taking off. Shows like what we do here on YouTube are taking off. I don't really see it. I see it as kind of like a lost medium, or a medium that's going to, die out pretty soon. So what would be the reasoning for them to offer this woman $1 million a year? That's just weird. It's just weird to me. Sonia Durham Waller Jackson III says, unfortunately, Shirley appeared to not be paying her bills before Nesto. He just exacerbated the situation. Yes, that is correct. She has been financially irresponsible before Nesto. We can't necessarily blame Nesto for that part. It just kind of plays itself out. She's a creature of habit. Nesto coming to her life did not help. I think that's an understatement, right? Nesto coming into her life did not help, but we can't completely blame him. Like, he's not all the way at fault. So that's a very valid point regarding that. Jalen Gnarl says, "Who that?" Because in case you all are not paying attention, my Saints have just scored another touchdown. A lady 747 is in the house. Thank you so much for coming through. Hope you're having an amazing Sunday. We about to start a new week, y'all. And I consider this my tribe. I consider you all to be my support group. Um, Thank you all for supporting. Thank you all for being here for my shenanigans. I do appreciate it. So, if there's anything that I can do to help you all start your week out better, I'm more than happy to do that. But in the meantime, thank you for coming through. Legacy Moon True Crime Industry says Sandra Rose is quoting Sylvia in her article, so that tells me right there she is inaccurate. Yeah, it's not a reliable source. It's not a reliable source, and a lot of times we have to really and truly um, use common sense with these things. When we hear them, normally there would be a like a press release of some sort. There was none, and trust me when I tell you, I've looked and I've looked hard ever since it came out. I've looked hard for something, a statement from somebody besides Sandra Rose, that would indicate that there was some sort of pay increase for Shirley Strawberry. She's not the biggest star in the world, but if something like that were to happen, and we're talking about a dramatic raise, we're talking about going from $400,000 a year to $1 million a year. That would be dramatic enough to where they would put out a press release regarding that, and nothing can be found regarding that. Kimmy K says, I didn't like when Shirley would act so helpless and didn't know how to do anything. I believe that it was all an act to make Nesto feel valued. I don't know, Kimmy K. I really think she couldn't use the Connect Network or whatever that website was that she was trying to get to. I really think. I don't think that was an act, Kimmy K. I think she could not figure that out. When she couldn't figure out what to do to get the oil changed, when she couldn't, it was just a lot. It was just a lot that I just don't think Shirley Strawberry, and it's possible, you know what I mean? Like a lot of times when you are used to doing the one thing, I remember when I worked as a manager at a cable company, and we sent somebody out to get to install a box, and I would have doctors and lawyers calling me because they didn't know how to operate their cable box. And, it's so I've seen it where people are so, they can do one thing, but they can't do the other thing. The simple things that they can't do. Now you can go in and do a whole surgery, but you can't figure out how your cable box works. She can go on the Steve Harvey Morning Show, push all the buttons, sit next to Steve, laugh at his stupid jokes, but can't, figure out how to put money on Nesto's books. I think that part was genuine. My personal opinion, not the biggest Shirley Strawberry fan, but I think that she was kind of limited in her everyday life skills. It kind of showed, and I think if you look at her, when we talked about her ability to not take care of herself financially, I think all of that ties in, and it kind of supports what I'm saying. Like she was limited in life skills, and Nesto came along and kind of filled in some of those gaps. So yeah. Shelley C says Nesto had a problem with reading, writing, and arithmetic. Yeah. Kimmy K says, I understand what you're saying, and I agree. She turned her head for the sake of having a husband. And I think it happens every day. I think, when we look at people that are in the limelight or in the spotlight, or people that, that are of a certain amount of quote unquote fame, I think we look at it a little bit differently. But I think that our everyday peers and the people that we know and the relatives that we have, they are in relationships and in marriages just so they're not single. I would encourage anybody to not do that. I would encourage anybody to not, for the sake of image, be miserable every day. I don't know if Shirley was miserable every day, because I don't know how much Shirley actually saw this guy. Because apparently he was never at home. So, there's that. But I don't know. I just think that there's so much pressure, unnecessary, pressure for a lot of women to be not single. It's sad. Nola Brown says Shirley cleaned Nesto up like they did Ned the Wino on Good Times. That is probably a very accurate comparison. Because yeah, well, Nesto. If you look at that picture that Shay uses on phone calls from prison, child, is that the pre-cleanup or is that the post-cleanup? Because I don't know. Because I don't know, but I get what you're saying. Because Nesto had never been in circles like he was dealing with Shirley. Nesto had never been, exposed to the things that Shirley exposed him to. So I do agree. But to me, he was always a little dusty. Lexi, the law nerd, is in the house. Thank you so much for joining the tribe on this Sunday afternoon. Is it dreary where you all are? Because there is no sun. I have not seen the sun in quite a few days. Definitely not since I've been back to Atlanta, but the sun has not been present. So I'm not sure what's going on. But where you are, how is the weather? I'm just curious. Is somebody getting some sun? I don't know what's going on over here. Siri Colette says, hello, Native. Well, hello, Siri Colette. How are you? Thank you so much for joining the tribe today on this Sunday afternoon. We are talking about what is next for Shirley Strawberry. What happens next? We got a trial coming up. We got a divorce coming up before the trial comes up. After this trial happens, 39 RICO counts on this man. After the divorce happens, what's going on with Miss Strawberry? What is Miss Strawberry's next move? If you were advising Shirley Strawberry, if you were in an advisory role, what would you tell your client? She comes into your office and she says, hi, hun, I need to figure out what to do with my life. I was married to Nesto. He was like Job, except he wasn't. What should I do?
I'm not able to make a phone call at this time, but you can ask me to place a FaceTime call.
You see how your automated stuff be in your business? I wasn't talking. I don't even know who that was. That wasn't Siri. I don't know who that was. I don't know who that was that thought I wanted to make a phone call right now. But your stuff can be in your business. That's all I'm saying. But let's talk about it. What would you do? What would you advise Shirley Strawberry if she came to you for that advice on how to move on with her life? We've heard the calls. We've understood the embarrassment. We get it. Now, after October, because the trial ain't gonna last that long. But after October, after the trial is done, Nesto is sentenced, Sonia has evaporated. Shirley Strawberry still has to live her very public life. What would you tell Shirley to do? I'm just curious. I'm just curious as to what the tribe would give her, what the tribal council would advise Shirley Strawberry. Let me know. Let me know. Ms. Kim says, I dated down in my 20s and 30s. I think Nesto ran game. He had that barbershop and sold Shirley a dream. Shouldn't Shirley be past the dream selling part, though, or the dream buying part? She's not an A-lister, but at the same time, she's been around A-listers and she's been in the public eye and she has been successful in her career. So I don't know why she would be in the dream buying business. I think if that's the case, if that's what it was, it's totally her fault. Like totally her fault as far as that's concerned. The discernment should have been there. And especially at her age, I'm just saying, life experience, and things that she went through as a woman in this industry, because women in any industry are going to have a hard time, Black women especially. So why was she buying dreams at this point? in her life? It's very curious, and it's a very good point. Legacy Moon, True Crime and Mystery says, I think she wanted the companionship and her coworkers didn't help. Plus the embarrassment after all her nuptials was covered by Essence. Yes, the Essence magazine, I feel like, did not help. Man, that made the bar super high for her marriage to succeed, for her marriage to be a success after you have just displayed it all in front of the world. You know? So now Legacy Moon, True Crime and Mysteries, I'm trying to figure out what happens next. Where do we go from here? What is Shirley Strawberry's future book? What is the future book that Shirley Strawberry needs to read? Has it been written yet? Is she still trying to figure it out? Y'all help me out. I really want to know. I really want to know. I got Jilly May is a bougie, tribing, vibing, intellect in the house. Jilly May, how you doing today? Jilly May says, happy Sunday, Native and Tribers. How y'all doing? You doing all right? Is it gloomy where you are? Because it's gloomy over here. I'm trying to get some sunshine in my life. Thank you so much for coming by, Jilly May. I appreciate your presence. Sherry Colette says, hey, mods and chat. Us seniors need love too. How are you doing this afternoon? She says, good afternoon, Native and Tribe. Just got out of church, early day. Couldn't wait to click on. Well, guess what? I am so happy that you did. Thank you so much for being here with us. Hope you had a good time in church today. We are discussing Shirley Strawberry's next move. If you were advising Shirley Strawberry, if you were trying to give Shirley Strawberry good advice, what would that good advice be? What would you tell her to do at this point in her career? She's 7 years old. She just got out of a horrible situation with a horrible individual. Well, almost. It's coming up. Hopefully no more delays for Shirley, because I do feel bad for her. But what would you tell her to do at this point? Jilly May, just coming in the room. What do you think Shirley Strawberry should do? What should her next move be? Us seniors need love too. What do you think? A lady 747 says women are groomed to clean a man up. We feed, clean, and pleasure them. It just depends on how much she will do. Yeah. Yeah. I think it's interesting that you use the word groom. I think it's unfortunate that that's true. It is very unfortunate that from the time that women are little girls, that there's this ideal relationship, this ideal wedding, this ideal, like all of these unrealistic things are planted from the time of childhood. I think it's unfortunate because, as we all know, once you get to the grown-up stage of life, yes, it's not really doable. It doesn't happen that way all the time. Some people are fortunate enough, though. You do hear those stories. I was in the grocery store, I was in the cereal aisle, we both reached for the Wheaties at the same time, and we locked eyes, and it was love at first sight, and we've been together ever since. It does happen. It does happen. But life's, and life has its ups and downs, and everybody's path is not the same. So how do we deal with that reality when it doesn't happen that way? How do we stop the grooming? How do we stop the constant pressure for little girls to grow up and be these just amazing cleanup women, as the lady 747 alluded to? Very interesting. Shirley Divorce Papers, you are not late. You are here. That's what you are. Thank you for joining the tribe. I appreciate you coming through. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Your presence is my present. Shirley Divorce Paper also says, but me, I'm late. You're not late. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate you being here. 3 minutes inmates peep Sonia Freak says, yes, and the fact that he seemed to have gained the approval of everyone that really mattered to her during the proposal. Otherwise, I just don't believe Shirley would have married Nesto, and he knew that. You know, it's funny. That's a very good point. I did bring it up in my Steve Harvey video that Steve Harvey, being as close to Shirley as he was, by the way, if you have not seen my Steve Harvey video, go to my page, go to my channel, and check it out. I must admit, it's hilarious. Anyway, I did allude to that. Steve Harvey should have absolutely vetted this man before he allowed him to come on his platform. You know, Steve was absolutely on board with Nesto. Does that make Steve Harvey responsible? No, not necessarily. But if Steve Harvey does not allow Nesto on his platform, does Shirley Strawberry accept that that marriage proposal at that time? I'm going to say she might, but I'm going to say that there's more of a chance that she would have had time to think about it. If Steve Harvey, being who he claims to be, could have just been her counsel at that point, if he would have used his discernment, because Shirley Strawberry does look up to him. So it's a very interesting point that you bring up in this comment, because yes, I do believe that Steve Harvey could have been influential in at least making Shirley Strawberry think about this decision. What do you guys think? I think the approval of Steve Harvey did kind of tip the scales for Shirley Strawberry. I really do. And I don't think that that Steve Harvey, you know, actually knew anything about Nesto, which is a problem. You know, if I work with somebody long enough and they trust my judgment, good or bad, right or wrong, and I'm about to make the most important decision of my life, which is who is going to be my spouse. If I know that somebody look up to me, I'm gonna at least do my homework and say, hold on, let me check this guy out. Steve Harvey has all the resources in the world to absolutely check somebody out. But he didn't. He didn't. Now, am I placing the blame on Steve Harvey's doorstep? I'm not. I'm really not. But I think that it is a point that that he had that influence over Shirley Strawberry, and he could have at least given her something to think about when it came to Nesto. Shirley's divorce paper says, yes, Saints beat the Cowboys. Please beat the Cowboys. I'm gonna need y'all to get this done. In case you all are not aware, it is 28-13. My Saints are marching in. Y'all should see the dance I'm doing right now. Who that? Who that? Who that? Thank God every day I'm not a Falcon. Anyway. Ms. Kim says, I've never seen any contract details for anyone on the Steve Harvey Morning Show. Right. Right. Sanders Arian says, the pay increase was just cheese to get back to the rat Nesto. I believe truly Monica and Debbie knew to entice him out of spite would be to make a report of a pay increase. Yeah, I mean, it's possible. It's possible that the story was planted. It is. I mean, I just don't see it. I can't see that being a realistic thing. Ms. Boogie Down says, non-native, I'm with Kimmy K. She played very helpless, but yet was single for decades and survived. But did she, though? Did she really? I mean, financially, Shirley Strawberry has struggled mightily for a long time. I mean, I get it. Possibly she didn't know how to get her oil changed, whatever. Or she knew how to get her oil changed and whatever. But the fact that she would be willing to do that speaks a lot about her, and it speaks about her in a way I don't want to speak about her. I am trying to give her at least the grace of being a woman and a grown-up. If I go along with what you're saying, Ms. Boogie Down, I have to take that away. I have to take that away, because no grown-up is going to let that happen and let that be the case. You're not going to change yourself into a helpless Tyler Perry character because of Nesto. So what I'm trying to do is give her at least the credit of being a grown-up. That's what I'm trying to do that. I'm trying to do that. Shirley's divorce paper says that would be my mama. She can't work nothing on. She can't work nothing to Roku, the phone, nothing. The grandkids have to help her. Not the Roku. Not the Roku. Shirley divorce paper. I don't believe she can't work the Roku. I think she can. Aqua Queen says, "Hey, yeah, I'm late. No, you're not, Aqua Queen. You are on time because you're here. That's the only requirement. You're here. Life happens all day long. Doesn't mean you can get here right when we press the start live button, but you're here, and I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much." Shirley C says, "I believe Shirley's overwhelming desire to not want to do those things overrode her desire to learn." I am going to agree, Shirley C. I think that's a really good point. That's a really good point. Kind of like what we were talking about with Nesto. You know, Nesto could possibly have something that keeps him from being able to learn. He may have an actual learning disability, but Nesto never wanted to overcome those things, to become more literate and to be able to speak where we can understand him. He knew he was going to be in jail on a recorded line. He could have done us a favor and learned how to talk at least. Hello. 3 minutes inmates. Peep Sonia's freak says, "I don't believe he was perceived as a husband beyond the moment of the nuptials. He became the help after that. Shirley just doesn't seem to be a very sexual individual, though she's sexy." I don't think that I don't think Nesto was attracted to her sexually. I think he was attracted to her financially. I think there was a financial attraction. But I think that the reason why he was always in the streets was because he was looking for that thing he was attracted to. You know, it was definitely a marriage of convenience for him, obviously. So I just think that I don't know. I just think that he played her. He definitely played her. So this kind of makes me think that there was two different agendas going on. We always talk about Nesto's agenda, but I think Shirley had an agenda too. And your comment brings that to mind. So thank you for that. That's giving me something to think about. Miss Kim says, "It's hot and sunny here in Orland Park, Illinois. Congratulations to you. I now know where the sun went because it ain't here. It just ain't." 3 minutes inmates. Peep Sonia freak says, "I think Shirley related to Job, not that she related Job to Nesto." Yeah, we just know that she talked about Job a lot. She talked about Job a lot. Miss Kim says Shirley needs to tell her story. Lay all her ish bare. Be honest. Take control of the narrative. I think that would be the thing that I would tell her to do. Like, let's get out in front of this thing. You've hid, hiding it didn't work. She thought it would, and it didn't. Shay, from phone calls from prison and that damn Freedom of Information Act, uncovered everything and put it all out there. So hiding didn't work, even from her coworkers, because Steve said that Mississippi Monica was giving them all the information. So being silent and remaining silent did not help at all. So I would tell her that. I mean, I would tell her to let's get in front of it. Like, let's be honest with people and let's help people. Because I do think that this is a teachable moment. I do think that this is a thing where Shirley has the opportunity to help people that are either in the situation, have been through the situation. I do think that that's something that she could absolutely help the public with. Legacy Moon, True Crime and Mystery says it's a lot of AI out here. Tell Alexa's friend you don't know them folks. I don't know them folks. I don't even know where that voice came from. That was weird. Shit's weird. In the words of Dion. I don't know. I don't know where it came from. It just all of a sudden started talking, and yeah, that was strange. 3 minutes. Inmates peep. Sonia's freak says Nesto is not a dream. He's a nightmare. You doggone right. You doggone right. Jilly May is a bougie, tribing, vibing, intellect, says bright and sunny in the D. Well, good for you. I'm a little jealous. I ain't gonna lie. I'm a little jealous. I'm a little jealous. I'm kind of jealous like anybody that's not a Saints fan right now. Cause we just took the ball away from them Dallas Cowboys. Sorry, Dak. It is 28-13. Who that to you? Who that nation and all my fellow who that's in this chat. We gonna beat the Cowboys today. Yes, indeed. Get the second line ready. We about to do this. Legacy Moon, True Crime and Mystery says Shirley can read Sylvia's book when it comes out. I'm sure it will be filled with Bible references. Bible references and pictures. How is Sylvia writing the book? I really want to know. Not trying to be mean, but I kind of am. Is it a picture book? Is she drawing in it? Does it come with crayons? Help me out with the Sylvia book. I'm not really sure. Dimples Wumples wants us to know that the Saints are up 28-13. Who that? Who that to you, Dimples Wumples? Dimples Wumples is reminding us to please show some love to natives. $ read 850 or super chat. All support is welcome. All support is needed. And all support is definitely appreciated. I thank you all so much for being here. Your presence is definitely my present today. Thank you all. Jilly May is a bougie, tribe and vibing intellect says, I think she should detox and clear her mind. Well, Nesto, piece of shit. Nesto, out of her life. Detox done. I do think that she does need to clear her mind and kind of chart a new path forward. I think that's important, you know. And again, she's not the biggest celebrity in the world, but people do pay attention to her. She does have people that do listen to her, and I think that it's important to show those people what it looks like to recover from something like this, from a traumatic event in your life, like a Nesto, and you know, it show that it's possible, and show what it takes to get that done. Legacy Moon True Crime and Mystery says, I will tell her to enjoy her daughter and grandchildren. Whatever is meant for her, she will have. You doggone right. You are doggone right. I got In Harmon in the house. How you doing, In Harmon? Everything good with you on this Sunday? We are talking about Shirley Strawberry plotting a path forward. Hopefully this divorce will get completed in the next week or two. Hopefully that chapter will end. But Shirley Strawberry, even though the divorce might be over and completed and that part of her life done, this trial is going to mention her a lot. This trial has her on the witness list, if I'm not mistaken. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong about that, but I think she is on the witness list. So it's not just about the divorce. The trial is coming up. Shirley Strawberry still has to live through this trial. Her name being mentioned almost on a daily basis. Man, can you imagine? You know, she's not out of the woods quite yet with the divorce. Now, granted, the divorce is a major part, because I think the divorce is more of a mental thing for her as far as getting rid of this guy. But think about the trial coming up, man. She's got to live through that. She has to relive all of those things. People are going to look at her, as we already are, and say, didn't you know? How could you sleep next to such a horrible person? There will be judgment for Shirley Strawberry. Absolutely, there will be. But once the dust has settled from this, once it's all over, where does Shirley Strawberry go from here? I mean, her identity is tied to Steve Harvey. That's already kind of a plague to her, because whatever happens to Steve Harvey basically happens to her. If they yank that show from underneath him, where does she go from there? That hasn't happened, and I'm not saying that it will, but what I'm saying is that Shirley, being an independent Black woman who is already working in a male-centric environment, having gone through what she has gone through. Once the dust settles on this divorce and on this trial, where does Shirley go? I think it's worth talking about. 3 minutes, inmates, Pete, Sonia, freaks. I love your name, by the way. My advice would be, Miss Strawberry, I admire your strength of how you continue to stand through the worst situation in your life. Reinvent your brand, write another book, and relaunch your candles. How about launch your candles? I ain't seen a candle yet. If y'all saw the candle commercial and I didn't, just let me know, because I'm not sure. How about we start the candle business? But I think that is very sound advice. I really do. Legacy Moon, True Crime and Mystery says, I don't want to clean a man up like I may have when I was younger. I'm at the age where if he's not already cleaned up, I don't want him. How y'all feel about that? There are some women that have a savior complex, right? They have a savior complex. It's, he may be this, and he may have just stepped out of the prison, and he may have fill in the blank. But I can change him. He may not be able to read 5 sentences in a row. He may not know what a paragraph is. But me, I can save that ninja. He may have an alcohol problem. He may have domestic violence in his past, but guess what? I can save him. There are people that believe that. Not just women, men too. She may not know how to cook. She may not take care of her kids very well, and she may constantly be on probation. But you know what? Ethel May, I'm going to save you. I'm going to turn your life around. It ain't going to be the same after me. There's guys like that. It works on both sides. I'm not going to say that that's just a woman thing. Legacy Moon says she ain't having it, though. Legacy Moon say, you got to come correct. Does the need for coming correct come from experience or come from age? Do you get to an age where you say, look, I'm going to need you to come correct? Or do you get tired? Does being the savior and trying to fix a man or a woman just become exhausting? Let me know what you think about that. Legacy Moon brings up a very, very good point. Shirley C says, I think Shirley should sit back and take care of herself, recultivate important relationships, and if she is wanting companionship, don't take referrals as the one. Investigate. Very true. Very true. A lady 747 says, I'm in Cali and it's overcast, native. I don't know if it's the clouds or the smoke blocking the sun. Wow. The fact that that either one of those things could be the case is kind of telling. But definitely be careful with that atmosphere. Don't breathe in too much of the bad stuff, please. NY Chill 1 says Steve does not care that much about Shirley to say anything until it affects him. Very true. You know what? Now that you say that, I think back on the what was it they called the Shirley Strawberry letter, where basically she had to say, I'm sorry to Steve because I said that you were out of breath going up the steps. He turned that entire situation, which was a situation where I thought Shirley Strawberry was going to get the opportunity to talk about her situation. He turned that into a thing about him and Marjorie. Now, Marjorie is my woman. I love that woman. Y'all ain't finna sit up here and talk about my girl like that. Now, Shirley, I heard what you said. Yes, Steve, I'm sorry I said that you couldn't get up the steps without taking a breath and needing an inhaler. I'm sorry that I said that you were too fat to get up the steps in your own house. Now, Shirley, you said all them things, but let me tell these black-ass bloggers about my girl, Marjorie. Y'all ain't finna sit up here and talk about my girl. She was with me when I was broke back in the day when I had that funny-looking haircut. Y'all know the haircut I'm talking about. It was actually a wig. He turned the whole thing into a thing about the bloggers and Marjorie and him, and it was telling of what you're referring to. He don't care that much about Shirley. It's all about Steve. It's all about the name that is on the morning show, Steve. So no, I don't think he cares that much about it, honestly. Us seniors need love too says, I think Shirley needs to continue working on her relationship with her daughter and grands. She needs to prioritize herself before any man. Stop trying to live her life like Steve and Marjorie. Yeah, I think that's true. And I think that from what I've seen, um, from what I've seen, I think she is getting back together with Sheridan and trying to make that better. So I will say that I think that's a thing. Ms. Boogie Down says, I appreciate you, but I beg to differ. Women play dumb to their men every day to boost their egos. Guilty myself. I'm just saying. I mean, I know it happens. I mean, I'm just hoping that I'm hoping what I'm saying is that I'm hoping that with everything that we are saying, and it's all speculative, right? I don't know Shirley Strawberry, and if anybody in the chat knows her, maybe you can speak to this. But what I'm saying is that I'm hoping that that's not what she did, because it's a very dehumanizing thing. If you have gone through that, then you understand the feeling that I'm saying, and I'm just hoping that with everything else that happened, that's not what she did. Just hoping, I'm just hoping and praying that that's. But don't get me wrong, it's big down. I do know that it happens. Just hoping that that's not what happened in this case. Nola Brown says, who that? And the reason why Nola Brown says who that is because the Saints are beating the Cowboys 35-13 in the second quarter. Who that to y'all on this amazing Saints Sunday, but it's also a Shirley Strawberry Sunday. Jackson Tabasco says, please remember to hit the like button. April B. How you doing today? April B wants to speak to everybody in the room. She says, hey, everyone. Legacy Moon, True Crime and Mystery says Sylvia's book is going to be an Audible. Are you saying that, Legacy Moon, because she can't read it herself? Like, are you saying that because she can't write it herself? Like, who's going to do the Audible version of Sylvia's book? Is it because, I don't know, she can't pronounce the words? Like, does she have a ghostwriter? Is Sonia writing it? Like, I'm so intrigued. You got to tell me more about this process that's going to happen. I'm just curious. 3 minutes in makes peep. Sonia Freak says, being broke to Shirley isn't like my kind of broke. Shirley Strawberry was more broken. Gotcha. But she kind of couldn't get an apartment, and she kind of was sleeping on an air mattress. So I think Shirley Strawberry broke and Yo Broke are more in common than you think. I don't know if you remember her saying that she couldn't buy a pair of shoes. She got a car repoed. I mean, okay, maybe not repoed. She got her car taken away. I mean, I really do think Shirley Strawberry's broke and you and my broke are kind of similar, to be completely honest. I don't think they're that much apart. Yeah. She went from living in a palatial estate in Roswell, Georgia, to trying to find an apartment. She just like us. She just like us. I'm just saying. I mean, if you look at the circumstances and what she had going on, she just like us. Us seniors need love too, says she needs to stop trying to live above her means. Yeah. A lady 747 says Shirley was struggling and drowning. She really, really was. I mean, honestly, she really, really was. Linda Gibbs says, I'm waiting for the Detroit Lions. Well, first of all, Linda Gibbs, all fan bases are welcome in the tribe. Unless you're a Falcon. But all fan bases are welcome in the tribe. Thank you for coming through. I actually like the Detroit Lions. I like the coach. What is his name? Dan Campbell. I think he does a great job coaching the team. They are tough. They are hard to beat, and I think they're going to go far in the playoffs. So I don't blame you for waiting on the Detroit Lions. That is awesome. Nola Brown wants to remind us that there was a touchdown for the Saints. Absolutely. A lady 747 says, if I were a victim, I would definitely look at Shirley to see if she was a victim or an accomplice. You know what? You bring up a good point, something that I mentioned, not necessarily on anyone's channel, but something that I thought about was that if I was a victim, I would have looked for her to speak out. Sonia talks about Shirley using the Steve Harvey Morning Show to speak on his character. I think instead of doing that dumb shit, I think that what Shirley Strawberry should have done is use the Steve Harvey Show and her platform to speak to people that were victimized. Not necessarily his victims, because it's all alleged and we don't have a conviction. But I think when it comes to the things that he has been accused of, let's look at it. CP, SA, R, grape. We got all these things that he's accused of, and I think that she had an opportunity to speak on those things, to be an advocate for those people. So I think that you bring up a very good point. If I were a victim, I would look to see if she was covering up what she knew. It would be extremely important for me to know that if I was victimized by this man. Absolutely. Minding Business wants me to know, as I have been living under gloomy clouds for almost a week straight, that the sun is shining in Queens, New York. Look, Shirley's divorce paper says Slow Roller wrote a book. Oh, hell no. That's what I'm saying. Lord have mercy. Legacy Moon, True Crime and Mystery says that she said that her book will be out soon on Amazon. Oh, y'all go buy it. Y'all wanna do a read through? Y'all wanna get the book, and then we can sit up and we can just read through it and discuss it and dissect it. I think that will be fun. Y'all let me know what y'all think. We can do that. I will read it so that you don't have to. How about that? 3 minutes. Inmates Pete Sonia Freak says the judgment can't get any worse than what social media has done. The people that will be interested in the trial are probably the people that have followed the social media content. You're right. It's not going to be the OJ case. All right. That's just the honest to God truth. It's not going to be OJ. It's not going to be anything like that. CNN isn't going to carry it. It's not going to interrupt your favorite shows. None of that. The trial will happen. There will be some interest in it because just based on the nature of what he's being charged with, that there will be some interest in it. It being someone close to Steve Harvey, like in Steve Harvey proximity, would also bring some attention to it, but it's not going to be like breaking news type of thing. Southside Chi-Town says, hey, all in the bushes driving. Come on through driving, Southside Chi-Town. Drive safely out there, okay? April B says his old ass was out of breath. Yeah. But Shirley had to like kowtow and just make it, I'm sorry that, I'm not sorry I said it, but I did say it. So, I can't take it back. And then Steve just proceeded to talk about him and Marjorie. 3 minutes. Inmates Pete Sonia Freak says the next milestone birthday for me, I will be Shirley's present age in a few years. And I just don't think Shirley is interested in love and marriage. I think family and friends are her relationship goal. Honestly, I don't blame her. I don't blame her if that's where she is after everything that she's been through, because keep in mind, this isn't her first rodeo when it comes to marriage. So I think like if that's what she decides, if that's where she wants to be at, and she just wants to be, family, hanging out with Debbie, hanging out with Sheridan, the grandkids. Hey, Shirley Strawberry, if you're listening, that's not a bad life. You've accomplished a lot. You've been a lot of places. You know a lot of things. The salary that you make is no slouch. Clean up your credit. Travel when you get a chance to. Start your own adventure. If you want to go back and do the candles again, hey, that might take off if it doesn't involve a stolen ambulance. But I'm just saying, do what you need to do. But look, that's not bad advice. Not at all. Ms. HLS is in the building, and she wants to remind us that the Saints are kicking behinds today. Who that? Legacy Moon, True Crime and Mystery says, I think when you mature with age, you realize you can't change another person. A person has to want and desire change. I believe in supporting a person making the change. I do too. It just gets to where, at some point, you got to see the change. I can want the change and you can tell me you're going to make the change. But if I ain't seeing it, we got to kind of say, well, where's the progress? But definitely I understand that sentiment completely. Absolutely. Man, Shay B is in the building. Hey, Shay B, how you doing? You good? How's your Sunday? Everything good? So glad that you're in the house with us. Thank you for joining the tribe. I appreciate you coming through. Shit's weird, Ms. HLS. Shit's weird. Alexa the law nurse, she just like us. April B says, I don't know why she hasn't said anything. I think she knows a lot more about her fake husband. I hope not. My preference in this story is that Shirley didn't know anything. I don't think it's possible, but I would prefer the story to end that way. I would prefer for her to be that she didn't know. I don't think that's how it's going to come out. Based on just Sheridan alone, because Sheridan knows some stuff. I don't think it skipped over Shirley. Does that make sense? I don't think it skipped over Shirley. Sheridan knew stuff, obviously. And you can tell Sheridan knew stuff because of the way that Nesto talks about Sheridan. The way that he calls her the B word every opportunity he got. Why would you have that much hate and vitriol for somebody unless they were able to nail you to the wall? He tried to plant that seed into Shirley and she bought into it at first. But then Shirley kind of came back around a little bit and was kind of like, I don't know about that. She kind of disputed some of his claims about Sheridan after a while. So my preference is that Shirley Strawberry didn't know what was going on. I hope not. Man, I hope not. Legacy Moon, True Crime and Mystery says, it's not easy to speak up for or to victims of something when you're a victim yourself. It can be embarrassing and shameful. Good point. Awesome point. And I think that's probably where she was. 3 minutes inmates peep Sonia's freak says, I think it's going to be a guilty plea. Let's talk about it. How do y'all feel? Like, what do you think the strategy is for the defense? If you're Sean Hoover and you're already struggling to find suits that fit you properly, if you're Sean Hoover and you've got a Nesto as a client, if you're Sean Hoover and you're trying to pull the truth out of this man, see, when you got a lawyer, you can't lie to your lawyer. Lying to your lawyer makes your defense more difficult. Because when you lie to your lawyer doesn't know how to defend you. So imagine Sean Hoover. He just took 3 hours trying to fit his ass into them damn pants. Now you got to go down to the jail and you got to talk to Nesto. And you got to ask Nesto what happened. What really happened? For this year that we've been listening to these calls, we know Nesto is not going to tell Sean Hoover the truth. He hasn't told anyone the truth. What's your strategy? Because what he does tell you, you have to believe is the truth. And you have to act on that. You are about to get walloped out of nowhere by Will Wooten. Will Wooten is about to go to town because Will Wooten, to use Nesto's phrase, has his facts together. Will Wooten got it all. And see, Sean Hoover is about to find out that this is about to be the hardest case that he's ever had to deal with. This is the hardest client that he's ever had to deal with. And these pant sizes are the hardest pants that he's ever had to get. Have you seen this man clothes? This man clothes fit him terribly. Just saying. It's just weird. Anyway. A lady 747 says, Shirley got the revenge body for revenge. Oh, she will flex with a new boo. A lady 747 say, Shirley gonna bounce back. Okay. It's not out of the realm of possibility. She may, if that's what she wants to do. I think the important part about this, a lady 747, is that it has to be her that wants to do that. Not Debbie, not Mississippi Monica, not pressure from Steve and from Steve's nephew, Tommy, none of them. It has to be Shirley's desire to bounce back with a new boo. And if that's what she wants to do, I don't see why she couldn't. I mean, you know, for a lady of her age, she's a nice looking lady. You know, I'll give her that. When she busts out here with that big ass bow across her chest, yeah, she could be somebody's present. Absolutely. But it has to be her decision. It has to be what she wants to do. Otherwise, she's going to end up in the same position. And at this point in her life, I know she don't want that. Jackson Tabasco says, 100, don't get back in now another relationship. Yeah, she got to be, I mean, she got to be careful. I think that there has to be, that has to be, you know, a thing. Right. Zesty little dude. Jackson Tabasco says, I want to see that Zoom hearing where Erica played his attorney. I hope that is played during the trial. I don't know. Are they? Let me see. Erica already took a deal. You know what? You know what? I think they may. Now that I'm thinking about it, the chain of evidence as far as his criminality, yeah, maybe they will. I would love to see that too. Because what are you gonna say then, Nesto? What you gonna say then, Sonia? You know, when you see April Holloway on the screen and she is not in any way saying that she's not April Holloway, what's going to be the excuse? Legacy Moon, True Crime and Mystery says, I personally believe there will be a plea at that final hour before trial. Well, they need to let me know because I'm getting my Dat Part shirts ready. I'm going to have my Dat Part shirts, my High Hun hat. I got the merch coming. Ray Della Lewis says, hello, everyone. Hey, hello, Ray Della Lewis. How are you? How's everything going on your end? What's the weather like where you are? Because it's been gloomy. Gloomy weather has followed me. I've been accused of bringing a hurricane to New Orleans, which I did not do. And it's been a lot of rain my birthday week. So I'm just curious to how everybody else living. Ray Della Lewis, how's the weather where you are? Ms. Kim says, Shirley unfortunately chose the wrong men. I hope she enjoys her remaining golden years. I do too. I do. Glamour W1 says, I really do hope Shirley experiences real love soon. We all deserve real love. For a lot of us, it escapes us, but we all do deserve that. And I do think that no matter what, you know, Shirley is a human being. She deserves that human touch, that human interaction. And I hope she finds real love as well. Think to the veil. Hello. Shirley's gonna bounce back like Juvenile. I'm about to bounce back. Bounce back. Yeah. She will. She'll be all right. Even if it's not with a relationship. I think that just her life, I think that she will absolutely bounce back. So yes, I do think so. Nola Brown. Says his phone calls with Lil Zesty will take him down. Oh man, it's so sad. It's so sad. I think about the day. Let's see, this is 2024. So let's just say 2029. Nesto has been in prison for 5 years. I think about the day that Nesto sits in his prison cell, writing page 400 of his script. The thought is going to cross his mind because his lawyer is going to probably in some way, shape, or form explain it to him. Bruh, them phone calls put you in here. Them phone calls made you indefensible. And that thought is going to cross Nesto's head. And I just want to know, I just want to know what the look on his face will be when he realizes that if he had not been so bold on the phone, if he had not let Sonia lead him into conversations and lead him into saying certain things, what's it going to be like when Nesto sits there and realizes that she sunk him? This thing that Sylvia called a blessing, this Sonia thing, sunk him. Can you imagine being in a cell and realizing that the reason why, not completely because he did those things, but realizing that your defense weakened because of this person or this thing that you thought was a blessing? Wow, man, that is powerful. But it's going to happen. It is going to happen. Victor DeVille says, I really want Shirley to be like Blanche Devereaux and hold out confidently and then pray for forgiveness later, like for the naughty activities. Victor DeVille, we are not going to have Shirley Strawberry out here like Blanche. No, I don't want that for her. I don't want that for Shirley Strawberry. I can't even see that happening. I mean, not to say that it can't, but Victor DeVille also says if he does plead, there's still a song called That Part that you can market to the crowd to sell the t-shirts. Yeah. That part the cynical. That part the cynical. Might have to get writing on that script. Ray Della Lewis says it is sunny and low 70s here. Wow. Sunny. I miss sunny. Used to be sunny here in Georgia. Yeah. Sitting here reminiscing on sunny. Wow. Good for you, Ray Della Lewis. I'm happy for you. Kind of jealous. And I ain't gonna lie. I'm kind of hating a little bit. 3 minutes. Inmates peep Sonia's freak says Sean Hoover doesn't have a defense for Nesto at best. He's pleading with Wooten for a 20-year sentence at the least. But me, I hope he gets a dark day in that prison cell unalived. Yeah. I honestly have no idea what you could possibly say with the charges, with the evidence, with everything Will Wooten has in his bag, with the Erica stuff. I honestly don't see what he could stand in front of a jury of clear-minded people and say that would get this man out of this situation. I just don't, I don't see it. I don't know what it could possibly be. And not taking anything away from his lawyering skills, he probably is a very capable and skilled man. He did pass the bar. So I can't take that away from him. And I'm not saying that he's not capable, but you're dealing with a client that is almost impossible to defend because he refuses to tell the truth at any point. So I think that that's I think that it's important, that he knows that. And it is important for him to make moves to try to get a plea if Nesto ain't gonna tell him the truth. And he and being honest with somebody that's not honest with you is never easy. Never easy. Glamour W1 says, not page 400. Yes. It's going to take them that long. Yes. Vicky, not Vicky, says I'm late. Hello, everyone. Vicky, you're not late. You're here. That's what you are. You're present. You're accounted for. You are a part of the tribe. Thank you so much for coming through on this Sunday. I do appreciate your presence. Vic to the Veil says the thing that last night's calls made me really, really realize, was that if he hadn't let her handle his legal affairs, Shirley would have had the money and probably would have bonded him out. Shirley had not only I don't know with his bail going up as high as it was, Shirley being not the financial maven that she should be. I don't know that she would have had the money to bail him out necessarily, but Shirley has resources. And without him coming out and making her look like a fool, I believe that her resources could have kicked in. And I believe that her resources could have rallied behind her husband and rallied behind her to get him out. Yeah, absolutely. But he chose to embarrass her on these calls. And you can say that he didn't know the calls were coming out, true enough. But integrity is what you do when people aren't looking. Integrity is what you do, is the phone call you make when you know your calls are recorded or not. See, he chose to lay down his integrity of his marriage, in order to deal with Sonia. Now, I don't know if y'all been listening to the same calls I've been listening to, but Sonia ain't worth it, y'all. Sonia is not worth your marriage. Sonia is not worth the extra years you are about to get put on your sentence. She's not. So even if Shirley herself could not have put up the money to get him out, if he was not embarrassing her, cheating on her, if he was not just putting her out on Front Street and playing her like a fool, or as the kids say now, playing in her face. If he had not done that, would she have been able to get the resources to be able to get him out? Yeah, I believe so. Now, does that mean that he would have stayed out? No, because the trial was still going to happen. But definitely, he would have definitely been able to make bond. Yeah. Legacy Moon, True Crime and Mystery says, I'm still grossed out about him looking at her behind and all the actual talk I listened to from last night. Yeah. Makes me sad. Makes me sad that he talked about looking at Sonia's non-existent ass. Nikki G is here. She says, happy Sunday, Native and chat. Happy Sunday to you too, Nikki G. How are you doing today? How are you? How's everything going where you are? What is the weather like? We are dealing with some gloominess over here in Atlanta, GA. I'm just trying to see, is anybody else dealing with the gloominess, or is it just me? I want everybody to have sunshine, but sunshine does not want to visit me. Legacy Moon, True Crime and Mystery says, Sean Hoover is going to say, Your Honor, my client don't know them folks. Oh, man. And I think after that, the judge is going to say, we need a recess for counsel to go change into some properly fitting attire. Ms. Boogie Down says, facts. He has no integrity and is getting everything he deserves. Yeah, absolutely. We got Virtuous Sinner in the house. She says, hey, y'all. Vic to the Veil says, he talked to her once that day, and he talked to Sonia 6 times and texted her. He buried himself. Shirley was praying for him, and his bird was dropping misery and nasty talk and some flat back pics. Yes, these flat back pics that we kept having to hear about last night, Vic to the Veil. Just weird that we had to keep hearing about that. Southside Chi-Town says he thought Sonia had something going on He started disrespecting Shirley early on. He did. I mean, the disrespect came from, the time in the RV and all of these things that he was doing with her behind Shirley's back. It's absolutely, absolutely disgusting. NY, I always want to say NYC. Okay. NY Chill 1 says, on the last call, Nesto told Sonia he destroyed his life. Bingo. Yeah, he did. He did. Whether he wants to like admit this or not, he might not want to just outright say it. But I think at this point in the game, I mean, this call that we heard was from April of 23. I believe that he realizes when he says stuff like that, he misses Shirley, and I think he understands that Shirley's gone at this point or leaving at this point. The interactions aren't the same. And I really do think that he understands what he's done as far as his relationship and as far as his marriage goes. What you're looking at now when you see those visits, you're looking at a man that is having to literally deal with the consequences of letting go of a good thing. The Bible says that when you find a wife, you find a good thing. His good thing is gone, and he's trying to turn Sonia into a good thing. Ain't that crazy? Because there's nothing good about Sonia Waller Durham Jackson III. There's nothing good. She has nothing going on. She can offer him nothing. If that man was to walk out of jail today, there is nothing that Sonia Waller Durham Jackson III can offer him. Not a damn thing. Southside Chi-Town says it's hot in the Chi. Karen S., thank you so much for coming through and joining the tribe today. Karen S. says, Sense and Sensibility aren't Nesto's manifesto. Bars. Did you do that on purpose? Did you come in my chat to rhyme? I hear you. I hear you. I'm going to say this one more time. Sense and Sensibility aren't Nesto's manifesto. I can dig that. That might have to go on a shirt, Karen S. You might want to look into marketing that one. But you are absolutely 1,000% right. Ms. Kim says, I just know Nesto is using Sonia's pictures as inmate currency. He is. I didn't believe that at first. I kind of believe that now. He kind of is. Yeah. I do think so. Kathy Smith is here. Thank you so much for joining us, Kathy Smith. Kathy Smith says, hi, Native and Chad. How are you today? How was the weather where you are, Kathy Smith? It is gloomy here in Atlanta, Georgia. And I just want to know how everybody is holding up with the weather. Miss Kim, he absolutely is. That's very common. Yeah. And Harmon says, Sonia, stroke his ego. Yeah. I believe that at a certain point, too, you get to a certain age, you shouldn't need your ego stroke. If you're a man that has accomplished everything that he's accomplished or said that he's accomplished, he lists this long laundry list of things that he's done, people he's helped, the celebrities. Well, what you need your ego stroked at this point? Your ego should be all stroked out, or your ego should not be important to where you just absolutely have to have it. Just please praise me, please make me feel good. That shouldn't be a thing. And if that is a thing, it leads you to know that his insecurities are still on his sleeve, even as he is incarcerated. Ms. Kim said, if my husband referred to me as them folks, I try to fight him. So disrespectful. Miss Kim, let me tell you what else is disrespectful. I'm going to tell you what else is disrespectful. What my Saints are doing to them Cowboys is kind of disrespectful. I mean, they signed up for it. Don't get me wrong. They signed up for it, but it's a little disrespectful. That's all I'm saying. Who that? GC is here. GC says, hi all. How you doing, GC? How's the weather? How's your mom and them? Everything good? Hope so. Simply Me says, Nesto lost a good thing. He might not see it now, but he has a lot of time to sit in prison and think about it. Yeah. You can't take certain things back. You know, I think that's why we always have to be conscious of the way that we treat people, whether it's a spouse, whether it's just a boyfriend slash girlfriend slash romantic situation. We have to watch the way that we treat people. It might not affect us this day. We might not have to necessarily face the consequences by being incarcerated, but it shows back up. It shows back up in our lives at some point, and we go back and we think about the things that we said, the actions that we took, the things that we did, and at that point, there's something we can do about it. If you have someone good in your life at this moment, cherish them. And again, not just talking about husbands, not just talking about wives. If you have anyone that you care about, reach out to them. Pick up a phone, say hello, hug them, embrace them, cherish them, make memories with them. Because you have a man who has completely destroyed what could have been a good relationship. If I don't believe anything else about Shirley Strawberry, I do believe that she's a good woman as far as someone that you would want to build a relationship with. I do believe that. I don't necessarily think that she's perfect. None of us are. But I do believe that she would never have cheated on Nesto. I can't see that scandal happening. I don't think that she's ever lied to Nesto, except for when she said that he was a good writer. But I think that was more along the lines of encouragement, because we all know that that was some bullshit. But I do believe, just by the way that she spoke to him, encouraged him, and tried to make him better through this situation, I do think that when it comes down to it, at the end of the day, that Shirley Strawberry is a good woman. He had the opportunity to have that. Nesto, or Nesto Williams I'm referring to, didn't deserve a good woman. You know, if you think about it, him and Sonia are a perfect match. That's what he deserved. He didn't deserve anyone of the caliber of a Shirley Strawberry, but yet here it was in his lap, right there. And what did he do? He not only disrespected her by cheating, but do you hear the way he talked about her? He made her sound like she was an imbecile. He made her sound like she was unintelligent. Them folk don't know nothing about that. They can't handle that. They ain't built like that. That's disrespectful. She was trying to be there for this man. And that's the way he spoke about her. So I say all that to say that, yes, he has a lot of time, simply me, to sit back and think about what he had. And whether he gets out or stays in, what he will never, ever, ever have again. And that is sad. Kathy Smith says, weather is beautiful here in D.C. Kathy Smith, good for you. We have a soft place to land is here. She has flames in the chat, and she says, hey, Native in chat. Hey, a soft place to land. How are you? Miss HLS, I am so with you. I am so tired of the rain. I got D-Dub in the house. Hello, D-Dub. How are you? How is your Sunday? Clutching My Pearls is here, and Clutching My Pearls says, happy Sunday, everyone. Yes. In Harmon, Nesto is weird. This is weird. Yes, he is. He's very weird. He's very weird. Legacy Moon, True Crime and Mysteries. I'm going to need you to go by the fire. I'm going to read this, and I'm going to blame it on the fact that you probably haven't had much sleep since we stayed up till 6 o'clock in the morning at the Legacy Moon, True Crime and Mysteries channel. Sonia stroked more than that ego. All right. All right, y'all. Oh, boy. Yes, indeed. I love y'all. I really do. Y'all have no idea how much I love y'all. I really do. Seriously, I do. That girl repping Brooklyn, New York says Nesto need to feel smart and important, and Sonia makes him feel like it. I guess. I suppose. I guess that's the thing. I mean, what does it take though to make somebody that's that dumb feel smart? I mean, really, what does that take? Ms. Kim says football is lost on me. Ms. Kim, let me tell you who else football is quote unquote lost on. Okay. Football is lost on the Dallas Cowboys right now because my Saints, who that, are up 41-19 over the Dallas Cowboys. Who that to y'all on this Saints Sunday? It is also a Strawberry Sunday, but it's a Saints Sunday as well. Both things can be true at the same time. Thank God every day I'm not a Falcon. All right. Ms. Kim said, I don't know a Saint from a Raven. Not sure there's a Raven team. Absolutely, Ms. Kim. So you know more than you think you do. There is a Baltimore Raven team. My Saints reside proudly in the city of New Orleans. So there is a difference there between New Orleans and Baltimore. So you know more than you think you do. But either way, it's fine. All you got to do is remember 2 words today. Who that? Who that? That's all you got to remember. Jackson Tabasco says, them folk better call me. I don't like outgoing calls. That girl says, yes, him and Sonia are good together. I mean, look, that girl, him and Sonia are entertaining together. I'll say that. I don't know. Myretta says, hey, brother Native, how are you, Myretta? Always glad when you can join in on the chat. Thank you. I appreciate you coming through and hanging out with us on a Sunday afternoon that is gloomy out here in Atlanta, Georgia. Shirley C says, Nesto used them folk are not built like that as an excuse to be totally disrespectful with Sonia and said it and for it to be all right. Yeah, you're right. But at the same time, though, I understand what you're saying, but at the same time, I feel like by saying that she's not built like this, that the inference is that knowing how to handle incarceration, jail, bail, global tail link phone calls, putting your phone calls from prison on the internet, like some kind of way that's something that if you can't handle that, something's wrong with you. You see what I'm saying? Like he was trying to make it seem like something was wrong. The normal, undysfunctional part of us as a society and us as Black people, we are not inherently supposed to be in jail. You're not supposed to be built for inmate things and zoos and whams and all. That's not a natural thing. Being incarcerated, being a criminal, is supposed to be the anomaly. The anomaly is not supposed to be not being able to handle that. So I feel like, yes, it is an excuse to be disrespectful, but I also feel like he really thinks that people are supposed to understand that type of, lifestyle or that type of criminality. I think he really thinks that. And that's just weird. Ms. 215 said, it's beautiful here in Philly. And we got flames in the chat. Look, I appreciate it being beautiful in Philly. Hopefully the beautiful weather will come back over here. Ms. HLS says, I love it for the Cowboy fans. I love it for them too. I love it. GC says, all is well here in sunny Florida. Don't want silly back. Please send her to a destination unknown. GC, if I had the ability to send that woman somewhere, it would be to the hair club for men. So we could figure out what's going on with them edges. So we could figure out why she keeps tracing Shrek's head in the front of her head. And we could get her straightened out with that receding hairline. That's where I would send her. That would be her destination. Clutching my pearls. Look, let me tell you something, clutching my pearls. You can put flames in the chat or you can put that fleur de lis. It don't matter to me. Either way, one representing that tribe and the other one representing these New Orleans Saints that is marching in on them Dallas Cowboys. Love it, love it, love it. Janetta, thank you for joining the chat today. Thank you for joining the tribe today. Says Rock T from the Ricky Smiley Morning Show said that the Saints would lose to the Cowboys. Well, guess what? I don't even know who Rock T is. All I know is that Rock T is a very incorrect individual on this particular Sunday. That's all I can tell you about that man. I don't know him. I don't know him. But apparently he don't know my Saints either. Who that? Who that? Who that? Mocha and Dimple says, Native, I was in the cut till you commented on my Falcons. We might have to end this. Mocha and Dimples, listen here. I am sure you are a good person. I don't doubt that at all. And I know you are because you right here with the tribe, okay? All I'm saying is that the rivalry is real. We can be friends Monday through Saturday. We gonna have some disagreements on Sunday. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. It's just a friendly rivalry. But Mocha and Dimples, I kid you not when I say I thank God every day I'm not a Falcon. Now that doesn't mean that you as a Falcon fan have a problem. I mean, you know, y'all got y'all thing going on, whatever. Okay, cool. But for me, it's the Who Dat Nation, and that's all I'm saying. Welcome to you. You are more than happy to stay. But it's Who Dat. It's Who Dat over here. Thank you, Mocha and Dumps, for coming through. Y'all, I love these. Look, the rivalries is what makes football what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like the rivalries make it the thing. If it wasn't for the rivalries, you know, you got Cowboys and the 49ers, you got the Eagles and who the Eagles don't like, the Cowboys. Ooh, a lot of people don't like the Cowboys. You got like Miami and Buffalo. Like, you know, when we get the trash talking, that is probably better than the game. So, you know, I love it. I love it like that. So Mocha and Dimples, I'm glad to have a Falcon fan in the room so that we can have these discussions. Thank you. My Reddit says, Native, don't do the Cowboys like that. Look, Native ain't doing the Cowboys like that. The Saints are doing the Cowboys like that. Look, Native ain't scored a single touchdown. Native has been sitting here talking about Nasty Nesto, Shirley Strawberry, Slorilla, Sonia Waller, Durham Jackson III. We done talked about all that. The Native ain't scored no touchdowns today. The Saints is the ones that put 41 points on them boys by the third quarter, starting the fourth quarter, down 41-19. I ain't do it. All I did was let y'all know it was happening. My bad. Native been sitting right here. Sanders RN says, Baltimore Ravens is my team. Yes, I love the Baltimore Ravens as well. Miss 215 says, Eagles fan here. Anyone that beat the Cowboys is good with us. Well, guess what? The Saints are good with you today because we are handling that business. 3 minutes, inmates peeps. Sonia Freaks says, Sonia and Nesto are too diabolical together. They are, but one of them is like never getting out of incarceration. He's going to be there for the rest of his life. So the diabolicalness can only be lip service at this point. Karen S says, I'm over here double sick as a Cowboys fan. Look, Karen S, I think I told you at the beginning of this chat, if you weren't here, we're a family. You know, we are a family. All right. Your team affiliation does not affect the way I feel about my family. So after all of this is over, okay, reach out. I'm here for you. I am a shoulder to lean on. But while this is happening, Karen S., as much as I love you, as much as I appreciate you being a part of the tribe and the family, Lord have mercy. It's all who that. That's all I'm saying. But Karen S., you are always welcome to look, all fan bases welcome. All fan bases welcome. Because I can talk shit with the best of them when it comes to this football thing. But, you know, y'all might catch me on a bad Sunday. You know what I'm saying? I mean, look, it's bound to happen. You know, it's football. So, you know, but Karen S., I feel you. I feel your pain. And once it's all over with, I'm here for you. Shoulder to lean on, shoulder to crown. I got you. That girl repping Brooklyn, New York says Sonia and Nesto are two cons trying to con each other. She's running game on him and he's manipulating and using her. Definitely using her. I do see that. My question to you is, what is it? What is the game she's running on him? He's locked up. He doesn't have any money. He's, he can't read. He's got some pretty horrific charges. So my question is, I don't doubt that she is some sort of con artist. I don't doubt that at all. My question becomes, what's in it for her? He's getting he's getting someone that's on the outside that's, making phone calls, calling him, sending him pictures. What's in it for her at this point? There may have been something that may have been in it for her when he was out, but at this point in the game, what's in it for her? I'm interested to know your perspective and what you think about that. April B says Baltimore is nice and sunny. I'm a little upset about that. It's okay. Miss Boogie Down says, as a black woman, as a black woman, ain't built that way either. As my dad said, I put folks in jail. I don't visit them. And I agree, although I'm not in law enforcement. Yeah. It's funny. It's funny how we think of blackness. Some people concentrate on the stereotypes that have been laid upon us, right? Some people have been, we're conditioned to think that, that we can't accomplish, we can't do certain things, we can't live in certain spaces, we can't have certain things. And we buy into it. And I think Nesto and Sonia have really bought into it. Why do I think that? Y'all remember in the call, if y'all was hanging with us till 8 o'clock in the morning or whatever time we got done last night at Legacy Moon House, do y'all remember when Sonia said, I love me some white folks? It's cool if if you are friends with white people, you got white friends, or, in your neighborhood, your neighbor's white, y'all have coffee or whatever. That's fine. But the way that she puts down black women, and then for her to say in that call last night, I love me some white folks, y'all, she wasn't playing. That wasn't a joke. That wasn't, she actually absolutely has love and adoration for white people. And, she buys into the negative stereotypes. She promotes the negative stereotypes of black women, of black people. And then, she let the cat out of the bag last night by letting us know that she loved her some white folks. It's very interesting. But being built like that is not an insult. It's just not. That girl says, good together as in she is his karma, and I'm loving it. Can't wait for him to meet his fate and her too. Oh, it's coming. It's coming. It's coming. Man, I got my sports people in here. I love it. I love it. I love it. Nola Brown wants you all to know that the current score of the game, Saints 41, Cowboys 19. I love all y'all, but guess what, y'all? Them Saints marching in today. Who that? Dimples Wimples gave me some fleur de lis on this Saints Sunday. I sure appreciate it. Them boys ain't come to play today. Karen S says, it's okay. My piece from Louisiana, so the roast is seasonal. Karen S, I ain't gonna lie. I really am interested in knowing what it's like to be a Cowboy fan. As y'all probably know, like every week I tell y'all, I'm from Pensacola. One of the greatest Dallas Cowboys to play the game is from Pensacola, and that would be Emmitt Smith, right? And I ain't like the Cowboys then. I don't like them now. Never been my team, never been close to my team. So I just want to know, for the long-suffering Cowboys fans, like what's that like? I'm almost curious. Things happen to every team, but it seemed like I'll be catching the brunt of a lot of stuff. Leo Lady 251 says, who that? Evening all. How you doing, Leo Lady 251? I'm so glad that you are here. Thank you for joining the tribe today. Dimples Wumpus said, black and gold representing hard at that Cowboy Stadium. Oh, we traveling. We will travel. We will. Jackson Tabasco said, put some Cowboys in the chat. Shit. Lady Leo 251 says, who that hit those Cowboys? Yeah, them Saints. Them Saints. Ms. HLS said, my cousin and her boo flew to the Cowboys game just to witness this blowout. Clutch Mark Pearls, Alvin Kamara is having an amazing game today. He is doing it. He is doing it. I ain't gonna lie. Like, this Sunday right here is great. Even though, I'm starting back at work tomorrow, it's perfectly fine because I spent this Sunday afternoon with my people, my tribe, got to see my Saints do some amazing things on the football field. We gave Shirley Strawberry some, I think, sound advice. I think we gave her some sound advice. What I want to do now, I'm looking at this comment. Black but not bitter says, I'm a Mike Tomlin, Steelers fan. You like old Omar Epps? Because that's what I call him. He an older Omar Epps to me. I mean, he could be Omar Epps' brother, if not cousin. I'm just saying. Diva Law 888 is here. She says, hey, y'all. Myretta says, I only watch football with other people for the trash talk. It's the best. Yeah, I mean, you can get some good, like, if you know the game well enough, you can get some pretty good jabs in on people, like, makes the game fun. I love it. Absolutely love it. Us seniors need love too, says, please hit the like button. It is greatly appreciated. I really, really do. Now, what I want to do, just because I have not talked to y'all in so long, I am going to drop the link. But Jackson Tabasco wants to know where's Pensacola. Pensacola is Northwest Florida. It is on the tip of Florida. If you look at Florida, it is the barrel of the gun, or the tip of the barrel of the gun, if you look at Florida in that way. But that is where Pensacola is. It lies directly 200 miles east of New Orleans. It lies 200 miles west of Tallahassee. And so we are in between a great university in Florida State University and FAMU, and a great football team and a great city of New Orleans and the New Orleans Saints. That is where Pensacola is. Now, I am going to drop the link because I have nothing else. I have nothing. I have nothing else. So, if you all would like to say something, if you all would like to let us know what you got going on this week, if you just have something that you want to get off your chest that you don't want to type and you want to tell me, we can talk about it. I am going to drop the link. And yeah, so I've dropped the link. So, if you want to come up, feel free. If you don't, then, like I said, I don't have nothing else. Yeah, Jackson Tabasco. I got the tone, but at the same time, I felt like explaining in case there were some people out here. Everybody hasn't heard of Pensacola, Florida. Everybody might have heard of it in passing. A lot more people have heard of Destin because of people like Nesto, and they want to jump in the green waters or whatever. So Destin is more popular than Pensacola. Panama City definitely is. So I just wanted to kind of give a geographical, idea of where it was so people will know. It's fine. It's perfectly fine. 504. Good day, highbrow Negroes. How did you know? How did you know I was a highbrow Negro? Who told you that? Well, let me look. Did I put that in? I said native tribe 1 year strong. No, I didn't put that. How you know I was a highbrow Negro 504? How? Just saying. Us seniors need love too, says talk your shit, native. Look, that's what I do. That's what I plan on doing, is talking my shit. All right. I had Miss Boogie down backstage, but she disappeared. Anybody else? Black but not bitter says yes, Omar Sr. He looked just like, it's uncanny how much they look alike. I'm like, what in the world is going on? Ms. HLS says, old Omar Epps, absolutely. Dimples Wimple says, Cowboys fans leaving early. I see they are exiting the building. Yeah. Myretta says, I love the Cowboys since Tony. Really? Tony Dorsett. Wow. I haven't heard that name in forever. Wow. A Lady 747 has flames in the chat. Sanders RN says, I can't believe she says she loves white people. Who says that? I love cultures, but no culture I love more than the diversity of blackness. Look, y'all already know. Y'all already know. Y'all already know I love black people. I love black culture. I love everything black. I love being black. I love it all. And to hear a black woman say something like that it's kind of off-putting and kind of weird. Just weird. It's just weird. It's just weird. We got flames in the chat. I think somebody asked me a question. Hold on, let me see. I think somebody asked me a question about the trial. I still haven't narrowed down a trial date yet. I think that was your question. Yeah, I think that was your question. But no, I have not narrowed that down. A Lady 747 says if she is worth her 95 pounds of con, she better have life insurance on him even if it's $500. Simply Me says, let's send silly to the Bermuda Triangle. It's too expensive. I'm not willing to spend that much money sending Sonia anywhere. Look, y'all, it has been fun as always hanging out with you guys. I'm gonna wrap up here. Thank you all for coming out, spending this time with me. If you came in late, didn't catch the beginning, want to know what the tomfoolery was all about, feel free to go back to the beginning. I am going to pull the camera out. I am going to go get me some pictures. I'm going to start planning this week out for everything that I missed at work, which is not going to be fun, but it's okay. I'll get over it. And yeah, but listen, you know what I'm going to say next. You are beautiful. You are beautiful. You are blessed. You are wonderful. I am so happy that you all were able to join me today. Wait, hold up. Before we go, we got the one, the only. Miss Book It Down.
Hi, Native. Happy birthday weekend. How are you?
I am here. I am good. I am all of the positive things. I'm that's how I am.
You truly are. You truly are. I just wanted to thank you for that Shirley segment as well, for everybody who participated in the chat. I came in and I wanted to actually let someone maybe a little bit older come in. I was hoping one of the older, beautiful Black women would have came in and spoke on her behalf. Of just what I just want to say briefly is I think that unfortunately, just when you are a Black woman, we have very, very limited options thus far, and especially coming up in the Shirley era, right? I'm born in the 70s, she's born in the 50s. And I think that unfortunately for her, I just want to emphasize that my sympathy for her goes towards the fact that I think that it just wasn't, having it all was not an option. I think unfortunately she had to make some very tough choices. Do I have family, be a housewife. And I don't think she wanted that, but I
Hmm.
think she definitely wanted the family and wanted the kids and everything. And unfortunately for her era group, it really, really was not really too many options out there like that. And then now add the fact that she's a woman of color in a male dominated field. I don't think that was an option for her either. And it's just unfortunate because I think that's how Nesto was able to get in. People don't realize, like, one question that I've always hated is, well, why are you single? Like, is something wrong with you? And I know you Black men get it too. I know, every race they get it. But I'm telling you, it really hits hard when you are a Black woman and you start to peak at a certain age. Now, like I said, I'm definitely 2 decades under Shirley, so I can't imagine. But I know growing up in the 90s and early 2000s or whatever have you, and at that time not being seen as somebody, as a married woman, oh man, it just hits different because it was just like, what the heck does that have to do with me being an accomplished individual? Maybe I
Right.
want to hit certain things, but it's always looked upon, especially as a Black woman, as kryptonite. Like, we raise everybody. You see us, we're the nannies,
Hmm.
we're the caretakers. We not only got to lift ourselves up, we got to lift Black men up because of how the world sees you guys. And yet and still, being single, I just can only imagine she was just like the jokes that were going on, even though I'm sure her coworkers were never deliberately trying to hurt her. I can only imagine how she was going home, and she's got 20 years on me. But I've been that person going home like, is there something wrong with me just because somebody asked me to marry them? I didn't want to say yes to that person.
Hmm.
That's not where I was in my life. But
Hmm.
it's this kryptonite that you have to be a certain age. And heaven forbid you hit 30, you don't have a kid already. Or it's just like, is everything okay? Is
Hmm.
everything okay with you? You know what I mean? So I think her being 58, 59 when she met this man.
Hmm.
And I don't think there was a standard that was there. Now, I'm not excusing what she did. I'm just giving validation to the fact that I just don't think it's as cut easy as everybody is saying to her. And
Hmm.
I mean, saying about her. And I just, for that, I just wanted to loan my little 2 cents and where my comments was coming in. I don't think that she didn't not notice a lot of things that people were
Hmm.
saying that she didn't notice. I think she did notice. I
Hmm.
just don't think that, sometimes the loneliness, it's real. This woman was in radio for like 2 decades of being a single divorced woman raising a child, to the point where she had to make some decisions that weren't flattering because her mother had a great deal in helping to raise Sheridan. And because it's not an option for us as Black women. The resources just aren't out there. And it really is, pick one. And it's
Hmm.
unfortunate that it gets down that way. But it's like you go and I don't find many Black women my age who basically have it all. I just don't. And I
Hmm.
think it's very unfortunate. And now you add 20 years onto that, and it's just like, being a single mom at that, or being married to a man who, she's experienced abuse before. So she got abused in a different kind of way and maybe just wasn't able to recognize this version of abuse. But when we sit up there and we, what you call it, when we sit up here and we let society dictate a lot of things, and unfortunately, because of the field of work that she's in,
Hmm.
you know what I'm saying? I remember
Hmm.
Legacy last night saying like she got to, she felt like, which I disagree with her, that she's not a nobody, but I knew what she meant by the statement, being a nobody, and she went through what she went through. She was embarrassed. I can't imagine having millions of people know who I am, whether I'm an A-lister, B-lister, C-lister, or
Hmm.
whatever have you, and then being perceived a certain way because I'm looking at it like I work with Native every day. This is one of the coolest dudes on the planet. And if he's making fun of my status, man, imagine now just taking that in And then on top of that, exposing me to a bunch of people that hear me and see me every day, but I don't see or hear them, and knowing that they're judging me too. So she took what she could, she cleaned them up as best as she could, and she just rolled the dice on it. And unfortunately, sometimes you do roll craps. And I think that's what happened with her. You know what I mean? But
yeah, it does. And I think I think that it's definitely a conversation worth having. It's not isolated to Shirley Strawberry. It's definitely a conversation worth us like having, which is why like when it comes to Shirley, I take a different perspective in this whole story. Sonia is just a horrible, horrible person. I think Shirley Strawberry just got dealt a horrible hand when it came to like her stepping into this marriage thing. You know, I think that she just got like the ultimate short end of the stick is Nesto. I mean, it just is, you know. So
absolutely.
Miss Boogie Down, thank you.
Yeah.
Your 2
And
cents.
I thank you. Yes, I thank you for allowing my 2 cents.
your 2 cents is invaluable, Miss Boogie Down. Thank you for the insight.
I appreciate that.
You. And you know I appreciate you supporting this platform and supporting the tribe. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you. You have a good Sunday.
One. Thank you, baby. You too.
All right. Well, we have had a strawberry Sunday. I hope it was good for y'all. It was good for me. Now, as I was saying before, never forget that you are beautiful, you are loved, you are blessed. Thank you for being a part of the tribe. I don't know who needs to hear it, but you are enough. Thank you for being here. If you need to reach out to me, my email is on screen. Feel free to reach out to me. I will be at V. Lenore's house on Tuesday evening. We will read some text from Nesto and Sonia. It's going to be good. But until then, I hope that you all have a great rest of your day. Enjoy your Sunday. And we shall talk again. Y'all have a good one, all right?